Is Payton Pritchard back? The guard stepped up tremendously in a game he was needed most when the Celtics were shorthanded, getting the W versus the Orlando Magic last night. And will he continue to step up, or was this just a fluke game for him? We'll be exploring Payton Pritchard and all that on this episode of Celtics Digest. We'll also be looking at Jaylen Brown continuing to speak up after getting the W and talking about how he feels about this Celtics team. All that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Veliz, but before we get into any Boston Celtics content, I would like to say, if you guys aren't subscribed and you guys want to make sure you stay up to date on everything Boston Celtics, make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the family. We're so close to getting to our goal of 3,000 subscribers, so if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything Boston Celtics news, trades, rumors, live streams, hit that subscribe button, join the family. You definitely won't regret it. But let's dive into the news at hand today. Make sure to grab a snack and get ready to go, as it is going to be a jam-packed episode. And the first topic we'll be discussing is the Celtics keeping that home win streak alive. Yes, the Boston Celtics fought a terrific game versus the Orlando Magic last night and got the W to keep their home streak alive in a back-to-back, and they have that win streak of 13-0. If we want to look at this tweet from Jared Weiss, Celtics moved to 13-0 at home as they beat the team that keeps beating them up, even with all the rotation centers out. Season high 14 steals for Boston, as Pritchard has a season high of 21 points. And Payton Pritchard stepped up tremendously for the Boston Celtics. But you want to know another guy that stepped up for the Boston Celtics last night? It was Derrick White. And I saw this meme on Celtics Reddit. Thank you for changing my life. I'm literally Derrick White. But this is how a majority of Celtics fans feel. Derrick White has stepped up tremendously for the Boston Celtics on both sides of the ball this season. And last night had another killer game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers in the night prior. He had around 14 points. Last night had around 19 points and was just a killer, shooting threes, helping out with steals, just being everywhere for the Boston Celtics. He truly is the underappreciated guy on the Boston Celtics. He definitely deserved to be in that top 100. ESPN was sleeping on him this offseason, and I'm guaranteeing you that he will be in that top 100 next season. He is definitely deserving, and he is definitely one of the better players both ways on the Boston Celtics. Let me know what your guys' opinions of Derrick White are, and how grateful you guys are that the Boston Celtics got to keep this home win streak alive in the TD Garden, 13-0. The last time the Celtics did this was in 2007-2008 when they won the NBA championship. Can they repeat that? We'll have to wait and see. But let's dive into the news again, which is JB being vocal again after this Boston Celtics win. Jaylen Brown was very vocal after the win versus the Cleveland Cavaliers last night, 2 nights ago, and now after the win last night, he has been very, very vocal. Jaylen Brown had a lot to say. He thinks that tonight was the biggest game of the year so far for the Boston Celtics. We had a bunch of guys out on a back-to-back against a team that had been kicking our ass the last 4 or 5 times that we played. So I think this was the biggest game to me so far, and I totally agree with Jaylen Brown on this one. If you guys don't remember, in the in-season tournament, the Orlando Magic absolutely destroyed the Boston Celtics. Yes, we did lose Kristaps Porzingis halfway through. They did limit us to play a very physical game attacking the rim. We did not shoot great from 3 that game. The Celtics weren't in their actual rhythm, but the Orlando Magic did a solid job. And the Orlando Magic had beaten the Boston Celtics, as we look in the last tweet, 4 out of the last 5 times. So the Celtics had been repeatedly getting beaten up by an Orlando team who hadn't really been that good in the last couple of years, so it was just a fluke loss every single time. They'd always just get the best of us. But the Boston Celtics last night came out, especially shorthanded. They had no Kornet. They had no Al Horford with the back-to-back. They had no Kristaps Porzingis. Their main bigs were, Lamar Stevens started. We saw some minutes from Neemias. Even Oshae Brissett had a very solid game in solid quarters for the Boston Celtics. And guys like that stepped up to the plate. Jaylen Brown, very excited that those guys could step up for us. He also says that he loves what he's seeing right now. He loves Derrick White's confidence. He's playing unreal. Payton Pritchard and Sam Hauser are confident. They're playing well. We've got guys coming in that haven't played in a month and contributing. It's just good energy right now. And I love and agree with that as well. A guy like Oshae Brissett and Lamar Stevens. Lamar Stevens got some light in the Cleveland Cavaliers game with no Kornet. But Oshae Brissett and Lamar Stevens don't really get a lot of playing time. They're only really thrown in for 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, in sporadic games. Maybe they're the first guy off the bench, but then you don't really see them. But their number had to be called last night, and they stepped up tremendously when it was happening. And that's what you love to see out of these rotation guys. Yes, some of these rotation guys may not be the most flashiest. Yeah, they might not put up 15 points a night, but when their number is called, they step up and help out on their side of the floor, either defensively, offensively, getting offensive rebounds, getting block shots. That's what they need to do. And a guy like Al Horford, especially, who's kind of been that glue guy for the Celtics bench at that center position, getting rebounds, getting blocks, helping out on defense, especially when Kristaps Porzingis was out. You needed to see that impact. And last night versus a very physical Orlando Magic team who has some great wings in Franz Wagner, Paolo Banchero, the Boston Celtics definitely got it done with those guys. Lamar Stevens, Oshae Brissett, neemias stepped up tremendously to help out this Boston Celtics team. We also want to keep looking at some more quotes here from Jaylen Brown. We can see that Jaylen Brown said he's going to have to start running his own campaign for all team defense. Said he's doing his job and that some on that. And even if nobody's been paying attention to it, we mentioned that a little bit yesterday on. So if you missed that video, you guys can check that one out talking about Jaylen Brown's defense. I personally said that Jaylen Brown had been playing terrific defense so far this season, but I don't know if he was all NBA first defense, but he definitely wants to keep working towards that. Last night he had a solid defensive game for the Boston Celtics. If he continue this up and keep pressuring these teams and playing with this pressure like he wants to, I think he can maybe get his way into the second team, but we'll have to wait and see. Jaylen Brown, like I said, talk about pushing the pace, wants the Celtics to continue to push the pace because he said that they had a very heavy guard lineup last night. We had all guards, all smalls out there, so our advantage was speed, and that's how I want to play all the time. Like, let's run on a made basket, on a missed basket. That's what I've been trying to emphasize for our coaching staff and everybody this year, and I love to see it. Getting that fast-paced offense back into this Boston Celtics team is great. We succeed very heavily in that type of offense, especially in the half court when the Celtics get a lot of steals on defense. You love to see those fast break plays where the Boston Celtics attack the rim. I hate to see when the Boston Celtics settle for a three on a fast break and it just clanks out. It just ruins the momentum, ruins the energy that you could bring into the Garden as well by throwing a thundering dunk or ferocious dunk in the TD Garden. You definitely need those type of things to happen with the Boston Celtics to get the crowd in it, and JB definitely did that last night. JB was slamming those dunks home, especially with that great dunk on Anthony Black, absolutely posterizing him, and especially after the game prior versus the Cleveland Cavaliers where Jayson Tatum had that thunderous dunk as well. Celtics fans must be ecstatic to see their superstar players contributing like that. If we want to look at one more, that's it. No more quotes for Jaylen Brown, but he's been a solid and impactful piece for this Boston Celtics team. I want to know what you guys think. Do you guys like that JB has been speaking up? I personally have. I know he's been kind of quieted out this season. In the middle, 10 games in the season, not a lot of fans were happy with Jaylen Brown, but recently he's been picking up his game. He's been playing a lot better, and I've been supporting Jaylen Brown this whole time, so I want to know your guys' opinions. Are you guys happy that Jaylen Brown is being vocal, stepping up, and playing to his leadership role kind of for this Boston Celtics team? But let's look at the last piece of news, which is Payton Pritchard steps up when he was needed. Last night, Payton Pritchard came out and had a terrific game for the Boston Celtics. Obviously, he wasn't that needed. They had their guards. They were short in the front court options, but Payton Pritchard means that he's going to get more minutes. He's going to get more opportunity. They're going to play smaller ball lineups. They're going to tweak and treat her with things. And Payton Pritchard excelled in that for the Boston Celtics last night. If we want to look at Payton Pritchard's stats, so you guys can see this is his last 5 games. You can see versus Cleveland, versus New York, versus Indiana. Not the greatest looks from Payton Pritchard, but last night was his night. 70% shooting from the field, 85% shooting from the three-point range, 50% from free throw, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, and 21 points for your boy. Payton Pritchard, congratulations, buddy. Thank you so much for stepping up tremendously for this Boston Celtics team when your number was called. We know you've been in this shooting slump, and it hasn't looked great for the Boston Celtics since a lot of fans in my comments trade Payton Pritchard. Payton Pritchard doesn't belong to be here. I totally disagree. Payton Pritchard's got to find his role, and he got that contract extension because he was so effective in this preseason. I know that type of guy is still in there, and he can still shoot lights out like he did last night. He just got to find his rhythm and find his role. A guy like Sam Hauser slumped in the preseason, but found his role once we got into the regular season. I think Payton Pritchard can find it once we continue going. He found it last night. Will he continue to keep it going, or was this just a fluke? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I personally think that we're going to see some light from Payton Pritchard after this game. I think maybe not right away, but in 5 to 6 games, I think he'll find his rhythm and might be a 10-point per game, 12-point per game score for this Boston Celtics team, and that's effectively what we need. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about Payton Pritchard. Do you guys think he will succeed, or do you guys think this was just a one-night game? But that's going to wrap it up for this episode on here on Celtics Digest. If you guys are at this point in the video and still aren't subscribed, what are you guys doing? We know you guys enjoy that content. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join the family. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. This is Bruce Velez, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace out.